Hi, I'm Tim Conaway, and I'm running for President of the United States. Our border situation is a mess. Probably all of our borders, but it's the southern border that has everyone's attention, as thousands of people a day cross the border illegally. And what is being done about it? Well, all of the wrong things, in my opinion. There was the building the wall thing, but, hasn't anybody ever heard of China? The Chinese built an 800-mile-long wall to keep the Mongol invaders out. And then one night, the Mongols showed up, bribed a garrison that was guarding one of the gates to the wall, and came through, and then the Mongol invasion of China occurred. The wall is only as safe as the people who are guarding it and the gaps in the wall. We're in modern times. This is not ancient China. We can guard that area with drones, which to buy and operate is a lot less expensive than building and maintaining some kind of wall. But the real problem is not what we do with that section of the border. It's what we do with the people who cross illegally. Do we turn them back at the spot? No. They're captured, illegally crossing the border. They're brought into the United States. They're processed through some facility, and then they're put on buses and planes and sent all over the United States to various cities where they're basically forgotten about. Well, they're not forgotten about by the community organizations that federal and state dollars are funneled to take care of these people. They're forgotten about by the bureaucrats who process them through and let them into our country. If we're just going to let these people in the country and send them around anywhere, why do we have border guard situation in the first place? It makes absolutely no sense. But it makes sense to the people in the bureaucracies, because all that money that gets funneled down from the feds and the states through various programs into these community organizations, that money is very important to all those people. And the people who get that money on the final receiving end they are told very plainly that they owe a debt of gratitude to these community organizations and to these government programs that bring this in. And basically, it's a politicized process. They're buying a bunch of political followers who, at some point or another, might become U.S. citizens. If they get driver's license, there are many states now that have programs where somebody who gets a driver's license can register to vote, and all they need to show is that they have a local address. They're asked if they're U.S. citizens, but hey, these people lied to get across the border anyway. Now, we're not talking about just people who are fleeing the violence of the cartels in Mexico and Guatemala and El Salvador, the other Central and South American countries, the incredible poverty in Venezuela and Colombia. That's been the tradition, but now we've got people from all over the world. We've got young single men from China, and getting from China to Mexico is no easy feat. We've got people from places in the Middle East where we have many, many known enemies of this country. There are people coming from all over the world to sneak through our borders, and they know that when they get there, instead of being turned back, they'll be brought in, they'll be processed, and then they'll be shipped at government expense to someplace in the United States. You know, Governor Abbott of Texas is criticized for putting these people on buses and sending them to liberal areas like New York, but the number of people that he sent is a tiny, tiny percentage of the number of people that the federal government pays to transport across this country and pays to set up in cities all over this country. We need to just turn these people back. Mexico doesn't want them. When we were stopping them from coming across, Mexico complained because all of these people were camping out on their streets and all of these people were sleeping in front of their stores. Well, don't let them come through. You know, you've got a border, Mexico. How do these people get into your country? How do these people travel across through your country? The people that are smuggled in here by what are known as the coyotes, those people pay huge sums, $6,000, $12,000, I've heard as much as $15,000 per person to get smuggled across the border. And that money, according to law enforcement officials in border counties and border towns in the southern U.S., all verify that that money ends up in the hands of the cartels. The cartels are shipping fentanyl easily in the pockets and bags of these people. And even though some of them get searched and some of this gets found and confiscated by the people trying to guard the borders, more and more of it gets through than gets caught. I'm Tim Conaway, and I'm running for President of the United States. There is no reason that we have to let people into this country illegally. It demeans all those people who go to the hard work to legally enter the country, obtain work visas, work towards citizenship if that's their goal, and it undercuts the law enforcement across the country because these people are not just kept in Texas or New Mexico or Arizona. They are everywhere. As President of the United States, I would direct that the southern border of the United States is closed. Anyone caught trying to come across without the correct paperwork will be immediately sent back across the border. Mexico can complain about it all they want, but they will deal with this problem. And the security threat to the United States will be dealt with by not letting all of these questionable characters into our soil, turned loose, and not tracked. I'm Tim Conaway, and I'm running for President of the United States. Let's protect this country.